despite of the recent police statistics showing that there's a decrease in the GBV as well as the murder crimes, these ills, continue to rear their ugly head in the communities. And this morning we've seen the Social Development Minister leading a 2.5 walk outdoor in remembrance of those that have been killed, for their sexuality. But just to hear more on this, we are now joined by the Minister. If you can tell us, Minister, what was the purpose mainly of the walk this morning?
Thank you very much, SABC, for the opportunity. I will start from the fact that we are launching the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence against women and children, but also there is a focus on the LGBTQIA communities, and that is why today's launch is focused on that community. And the silent march, well, it was supposed to be a silent march, but South Africans can never walk silently. It was a form of awareness. We walked around the park and engaging with anyone that we could come across, just to let them know that the government of South Africa, as led by President Matamela Ramaphosa, and in particular the Department of Social Development, as well as the Department of Women, Youth and People with Disability, and government as a whole needs to step up and support women and children, but also support the programs that are by the Department of Social Development and programs that are actually homegrown. Those are the programs that you find on the ground as led by the community, the LGBTQIA community. They also lead a lot of this work in their own communities. So today, this morning, it's a pre-launch to the 16 days of activism against women, the violence against women and children.
Minister, you are also joined by members from the LGBTQI community. What are some of the issues that perhaps they've engaged with you on regarding the challenges that they are, challenges that they have to deal with on a daily basis?
Daily, they have to deal with bullying, and as we know that recently we lost Sibusiso Mbatha, a life that was lost because of bullying in a school, a life that was lost, a life that was supposed to have been protected both by the educators but also as well as the children themselves. That is bullying. That's what they face in communities. But they also face unacceptability because they are judged for their sexuality, and in many instances there is no understanding of it even within their families, let alone their communities. They are faced with that. But also they face crime against them, because we know that many of them, we have many who died and lost their lives because they were attacked. Communities, or some members of the community, I must say, because we can't generalize here, they are being supported by some communities, but they still face a lot of discrimination in particular. So our work this morning is also to raise awareness of the constitutional obligations that we have, and the human rights protection and the Bill of Rights, which are our basic documents for freedoms in South Africa. But it's one thing, of course, to have all those good, the constitution, which is good, the progressive approach of this government, but then it's another for them to live freely within their families and within their communities.
And of course, besides the discrimination that they have to face, or that they suffer, from different communities or from the society, there's been reports about, the community itself suffering a lot of, violence. You find that, partners are taking, each other to the point of one killing the other. How are they being supported in this regard?
The first thing that I'd like to say is the challenge of violence in South Africa, and the fact that we still within our communities find that some people think the best solution to a problem is being violent. So we have that problem in general, but specifically the gender-based violence, which is very much suffered by women and children, and of course the LGBTQIA community. Because we also live in a generally violent environment in some of our communities, then they suffer most and they feel the pain much more because they are targeted simply because of who they are. Quite frankly, this morning I was very disappointed. As we were marching, there was a man that came out very angry with us and saying that we are the ones who are encouraging this LGBTQIA community because we are defending them. He was upset because he was saying the masculinity of man is being removed from them. Here is the message to everybody. Everyone needs to be appreciative and understanding that in South Africa we live in our diversities, and therefore the diversity also includes the LGBTQIA community.